Where am I?
Who am I? Why are we?
I'm home.
I'm home. Hi, John. You're home? Home is where
Yeah.
the heart is.
I think my interface is working.
Oh, I didn't check my settings. Oh, no.
Oh, what? That wasn't a passive aggressive thing saying, "Well, Phil
No,
better check his stuff."
No, it was a reminder. I'm fine.
While the guys settle in here, we're gonna take a pause for a station identification. This is Ed, your friendly narrator of the Time to Lean and Here's a Song podcast. Episode 60, season finale.
Sorry all of our listeners have to go through this again. We have to test everything. That's sad.
It's quality control.
And this is our big season finale.
The hills will never be the same.
Ah.
Yes, the voiceover by Lurch. That's what we got to do.
I don't know if I could do that one. I'm not for the whole time.
No, it sounds painful. You have to talk in this.
I wonder if that was altered too. Maybe that was. Maybe
No, his voice sounds like Ted Cassidy. I'm talking about Lurch from the television show.
Yeah.
Played by the late great Ted Cassidy with a D. Sorry, Sean. And
No relation.
who shows up in other random things. He was in a Western I watched recently.
I've never seen him in anything else. I don't think.
He's in Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. It's another Cassidy. It's a Cassidy festival.
Okay, now wait. I have seen that movie, but I don't remember him.
He's a very minor character.
Oh.
He has like one line, but you can't miss him though.
Well, there's a guy that had a career just based on his voice and his interesting look.
Yeah, and he's also in an episode of original Star Trek. where
Oh,
he
that's
plays
right. Wasn't
big
he one
robot.
of the buttheads or something? Or no?
No, he plays this creepy-looking robot guy in a cloak.
Yeah, I remember the cloak. Wait,
His
no,
name
he
is-
was in a
name is
Twilight Zone, I
Rock.
think. Wasn't he in To Serve Man?
Oh, was he in that? See, he probably was. He was all over the place in the 60s.
I'm not sure, and I'm not going to
haven't
go
seen
look it
that
up.
one in
But
so
I
long.
just remember somebody. I think he was in that in the Twilight Zone.
He probably was.
So he was in two things with William Shatner. Okay, and he wasn't in the same episode.
He's a crossover artist. Yeah. It's like put him and a few others and have a super group.
Well, let's see. Him and the guy that played Scabby or Gabby or Scrappy. They could be in a
What?
Western together. Just those two.
Walter Brennan?
Yeah, they should just have.
Oh, yeah, Walter Brennan's different. He's in everything.
No, I know, but I think they should have just those two in a Western. It's too late now.
I'd watch it.
They could CGI it.
Yeah,
It's
I'd
a
like it.
It's a prequel.
Okay. Did you have to go in the office today?
I did.
Oh, so did I.
I don't mind. I think I have coworkers that haven't been on site since last March.
Yeah, same here.
And right. And I think I'd be going crazy.
I like going in most days. Today, because we had this surprise light snow all day that made the roads suck, that wasn't fun.
No, I got in ahead of that, fortunately, but yeah.
It was mostly going home that kind of stunk.
It got slick.
It was.
Well, we've had that recently where it's been bitter cold, but we get like a little dusting of snow, just enough to make it really slick.
Yeah, it's a little bit, and that the road chemicals don't work because it's so cold.
Right. And people don't slow down, but even if you're driving slow, you could still get in an accident with that stuff.
Yeah, I think the other morning this week when it was really cold, there were a lot of accidents because people weren't being careful of the black ice.
Yeah, I know.
The Black Ice, starring Ted Cassidy.
He never got to star in anything.
It's really a tragic event. And it's funny that we're talking about ice and snow and cold weather when Texas is is really getting screwed right now.
Well, yeah, and their power grid's weird, and the power grid in the
it
whole
is
country
freaky
is
weather though. I can sort of see why they gambled that. Oh, we'll never need this de-icing stuff on the gas wells and wind turbines and stuff like that.
Well,
when's that ever going to happen? Come on,
but
we're not
they
North Dakota.
I think they're the only state that has a deregulated power grid, but I could be wrong.
I never knew that. That was really interesting. Bad for them, but it was educational.
Yeah, maybe that'll change. Probably not.
Probably not. If they propose it and say we can improve this and have more regulation, but your bill is going to go up 50 cents a month, they'll all hate it.
Oh no!
Because we're a high tax, high service state. like it or not. I guess you can move to Texas and
yeah, you get what you pay for.
Once in a while, you get unlucky with the weather and the combination of bad weather and lack of government infrastructure.
I was looking at some map. It's like the Southwest Power something. I can't remember the third word, but
like the SWAT team or something.
It went
SWAP.
Their reach went all the way up into North Dakota, right up the center
I saw
of
that
the
same
United
graphic.
States.
I had no idea.
So all these brownouts were caused even in South Dakota because of what they were doing in Texas.
I mean, they're being punished.
And infrastructure. Let's help that power grid.
Yeah.
But then some people on the right are saying that the Green New Deal caused this power problem. Yeah,
that's such bullshit. I'm sorry.
We haven't even had the Green New Deal yet, and it's already causing problems.
No, most of the issues are because of natural gas stuff.
I've had several issues with natural gas lately myself. But that's a little TMI.
Yeah.
And, wind turbines work fine in cold places like up here in Minnesota. They're all over the place, and they have them in Antarctica, for fuck's sake.
What were they trying to say? They froze, so it caused all the issues? As if Texas has a large wind farm.
They probably have some, but it's this tiny percentage. And I read somewhere, I read it on the internet. It must be true. It's very Trumpy, but that the wind farms were overproducing during this time. So most of them were apparently not down.
It sounded
more
like
the natural gas issues.
Grid issue, and they didn't ramp up in time for the storm, and all kinds of different issues.
Well, that always gets me to a thing that I've noticed over the years is how bad our electrical grid in general is really.
Well, it's like from the 70s or something.
Yeah, it's antiquated. It's vulnerable to all sorts of natural and foreign attack.
Yeah. This is national security.
It's a security issue. And even on down to the house level, most areas are served by these above ground utility poles that look like they're about to fall. And the ones behind my house look like they look like those telegraph poles in an old Western on the side of the railroad tracks.
They don't do anything until they fail.
Like the woodpeckers have almost eaten them out, and they're terrible. I used to live in a development that had all its utilities underground.
Ooh.
They built all the electrical lines underground, and of course water and gas and everything else.
Sure.
But no utility poles, and granted, it was an area that had some money, but also they built it from the ground up not too long ago, and they made the decision to spend the extra money to put all the electrical lines underground.
Well, you don't have to look at them for one thing, too. It's more aesthetically pleasing.
It's noticeable if you suddenly one day like, hey, there are no ugly power poles outside.
There was. I remember visiting your house, and I don't know if I made the connection, but something seemed different. But I don't know if I don't know if I made the connection when I first
once I figured it out, it was very apparent, and so everything's underground. It's more expensive to install and of course to repair, but then again, the wind doesn't take it out with the trees and everything.
No,
and apparently other parts of the world this is much more common.
Our old house had. Every time there was even a slight I don't know, disturbance in the force, some weather thing, our power would go out for a few hours, and they had to keep coming to service it and stuff. And I asked them, and I would look at the wires, and they're really frayed, and every now and then a squirrel would get zapped, and
That's a feature, Phil.
It didn't even have the cover. The covers have been worn off of the wires or something in spots.
Insulation.
And I one time a service person was there working on the whatever it was. I don't know, transformer. I'm gonna say, but I don't know if that's the right word. Transformer man. I'm like, why does this keep going out? I said, well, this is really old and it needs to be replaced, but they won't replace it till it fails. But how much money did they spend on service?
Yeah, that's the classic trade-off.
And how much food
short-term, long-term. Yeah.
Everyone on our block had to throw away their food every few months. It was like, this doesn't make any sense, but whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Deferred maintenance.
I know. Yeah, we're soaking in it.
Oh, well, Biden wants to fix it, but I don't know if he'll get the money.
Because it'll be infrastructure week.
Another I episode.
Yeah, it is. So,
fine.
I don't know. And on top of that, Rush Limbaugh died today.
Yeah, I don't wish I'm not going to jump up and down on his grave or something and dance on it, but I mean,
They could sell tickets though for those who would like to.
I think most of us can agree he was a shit. I mean, he used to, when during the AIDS, somebody would die, he'd read off the names of people that died of AIDS or something, and they'd like have horns honking and stuff. I read.
Yeah, and he had this thing. He would like play some Diana Ross song. I forget the name of it. And one of the few things he ever apologized for, probably because the advertisers threatened to cut off his money.
Yeah, that's it.
Do you remember? I don't want to talk about him very much, but you remember when he had a TV show?
Oh God, no.
That was in the 90s.
Was it animated on Saturday mornings?
Oh, I see. That might have been interesting.
The Rush Limbaugh world.
like the Super Friends.
Rush
Super
Limbaugh saves the day again in his glorious red truck.
And his giant gold microphone. Who gets the gold microphones?
I think they should be buried with him.
Yeah, they should. And he was always, as a side trip into
Bill O'Reilly.
computer things. Rush, and I don't have any evidence to back this up other than it's just anecdotal, but I'm sure somebody has written about it. Rush, I think, was a really hardcore Apple Mac fan.
Yeah.
Kind of
he
if
wasn't
you remember
totally
back
evil.
in the old days, speaking of 90s, it's the tools. Guns don't kill people. Macs do. No.
That gold mic really interfaced well with
It did.
his Focusrite.
He wouldn't use something that cheap.
I know.
Just like in the speaking of the 90s, if you'd watch Seinfeld, you'd see Jerry always had a Mac in his apartment.
Yeah.
And it changed. The people who made the show replaced it every couple of years with whatever the current model is, and so you could
weird! I didn't know
see
that.
the evolution of it. And
Strange.
Weirdos like me would notice that, but
Yeah, you can tell what year the episode was made just by the Mac.
it's almost like that. Yeah, the original, because one of those original black and white ones is in the show.
Oh wow!
For a while, and then it becomes a laptop and whatever. But whenever you'd see clips of Rush like live streaming his radio shows, he always had Apple equipment there in front of him.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't help but notice. It was over many years. It must have been a thing. And the last year, I'd see clips. He'd have the big gold microphone, but he'd also have whatever the hottest Apple stuff was.
Interesting.
And lately he had this thing called the Mac Pro, which is their tower Mac that they make now, and the matching monitor for it. And if you buy it, the minimum starting price of that combination is about $12,000 to $13,000.
Wow.
It's really high end stuff.
That might as well be gold too.
It was definitely there. I noticed it when they'd show clips of him, and So that's Apple lost a very loyal customer there.
Well, what? So
Maybe Tim Cook is crying. No,
he'll have to
probably not.
He'll have to work out some better deals with China. So what?
Anyway,
what was the TV show? Was it just him doing his radio show? I've seen that.
I think he had guests and stuff, and
So it wasn't exactly like it was separate from his radio show.
It was separate. Yeah.
Okay. Because sometimes I've seen
it was syndicated. I think I remember it being on, and that how everybody chortled when it was canceled.
Yeah, I guess I kind of remember
And he
that.
retreated back to radio, and really, I mean, he talk about having a face for radio, to use the term, or podcasting.
Well, right.
That's self-deprecating. He was much better on broadcasting, and he was very good at his horrible job.
Yeah,
I'll give him that.
He served his cause well. I don't think he'd ever deserved a Medal of Freedom for it, but he
obviously
deserves some
bullshit.
kind of medal. But
The metal played in his head. Son of a bitch owed me $17.59.
So
Fine.
that's what's going on today, and by the time the episode comes out, you'll think, who was that?
no, I
Who
think
was that guy? No, we're getting better. I promise.
I think he'll. I think people will remember him. Maybe Al Franken can write a sequel
I wonder.
to his Fat Liar book. Well, what are you drinking?
Okay. I've been saving the last bits of this bottle since I bought it because I wanted to keep drinking different stuff. This is a Japanese whiskey.
Oh, I almost got one last time I was at the liquor store. Which one did you get?
This one, it's a cheap one.
Suntory.
Suntory Toki, Toki,
Okay.
which actually translates to time.
Oh.
So if you are a fan of the Bill Murray movie Lost in Translation, he would say, make it Suntory time.
Oh, wow.
So it's just about, I don't know if this was literally the one he was drinking, but it's very much that kind of whiskey.
It's Suntory time and Suntory time.
Yeah, exactly. And
which came first?
It's a 43%. It's very mild. It's apparently meant for going in these things they call whiskey cocktails, which is mostly whiskey and club soda.
Oh, it's like a whiskey soda?
Just like that.
Huh.
And
Nothing else?
I don't remember.
Is that a Japanese thing, you mean?
Yeah, they're very big.
Well, I love, that's scotch and soda in the summer, but yeah. Huh. Okay.
Yeah, or it's called a Japanese whiskey highball.
Okay. And it's just club soda.
Yeah, it's mostly that, although I think there's less club soda than there is in a traditional, because the reference I saw was saying it was like 2-to-1 club soda to whiskey.
Well, it's like Ralphie putting a couple of spoonfuls of water in his whiskey.
It's almost like that.
But it gives you a little more of a
It's not.
spritz.
It's very much the equivalent of a good blended Scotch for Japanese whiskey. So it is a combination of grain whiskey and malted barley whiskey.
Kind of sometimes the way I make my scotch and sodas is probably 2-to-1 too, but
No, you gotta keep the strength. And it's very light and easy to drink, and actually, and I'm drinking it straight right now, but it's got a very fruity kind of apple scent thing going on with it.
apple.
Green apple comes up.
Okay, wow, isn't that kind of unusual for a scotch style whiskey?
Yeah, it's not exactly like a Scotch.
Well, yeah, but
No, it's
Style?
much more similar to me than to an Irish whiskey.
okay, but even then, green apple.
It's very, very light, and
Oh,
again, it has but the thing is, it almost tastes better on ice than it does straight.
Oh, I'll have to try it. I like to drink my drinks on ice anyway.
It's nice. I like all Japanese whiskey. It's overpriced.
Well, I was still
And
tempted
I'm not
to
sure
try
it's
something.
worth. I think I paid $30 for the bottle, and for what it is, it's a little much. But I'm glad I tried it.
Okay, fine.
It's very nice. Don't get me wrong, but I
good.
think you can beat it. Although again, it's not exactly the same as a Johnny Walker or something like that at that range.
Yeah.
And it, of course, has no smoke, no peat flavor at all.
All right.
How about
meant
you?
for the cocktail? Well, I'm having. Actually, I'm done with it now. But it was a Naked Grouse Rob Roy. I tried Naked Grouse for the first time.
Which is a version of the famous grouse, which is a
I
mass
guess
market
so.
blended Scotch.
They've splintered off into their own thing, evidently, and it's I guess its thing that separates it is it uses first fill sherry casks. I think it's about 48%. It's very
that's good.
what?
That's good. Yeah, that's a good strength.
It's and it's a malt. It's a blend of malts, and it's very, very smooth, and it's got a little bit of smoke to it. So it's got some character. I guess I was surprised at how it's pretty sweet, and
Yeah, sherry.
sure, and boy, it it's really good in a Rob Roy, which is like a Scotch version of the Manhattan, I guess, but
Right.
supposedly it's marketed to older millennials, but I don't know. I don't fit into that category. And it was a good price range. I mean, it's a probably lower mid or to mid, depending on where you go, I suppose. But 30 to 35, I think, is what they're
So it's some medium lower shelf.
power. Yeah, that's probably their price range is 30 to 35, I guess. So
Yeah,
that's kind of
they
where
have
where I sit at with whiskey. So.
Famous Grouse has the standard version, and then they have one called Black Grouse, I think. Which is supposed to be smokier.
I read something about a something Grouse Alpha Plus or something, and they have like a 40-year. I don't know, but I guess they spun this Naked Grouse off onto their own thing. I don't know if a different company is dealing with it now. There used to be this is an updated version of the Naked Grouse. Supposedly there was a different one, and this has been updated, and people are saying it's better. And I don't know.
Oh, cool! I will have to try that sometime.
Yeah, if I can, I'll save some, or I'll get some
Well,
more.
I'll just get a bottle.
I'll get
keep
some
a
more.
lookout.
I think I think you'd like it. I mean, it is pretty sweet, but
Good.
and then to make a Rob Roy out of it makes it even sweeter. But whatever.
Yeah, you just got to watch the vermouth on that.
It's very, very, very yummy though. Either
Good.
way.
I need to take a quick break because I've got some food I need to check on.
Well, there's a segue to food.
And I'm in the kitchen, so it won't be long, but I just need a couple of minutes.
It won't
And I'll
be
cut this part out.
No, I'll ramble. I'll get a beverage as well.
Good.
Get another beverage.
Checking his food, yeah. Checking his food. Checking his food. Checking his food, yeah. Checking his food, yeah. Checking his food, yeah. John's checking his food. John's checking his food. Doesn't need to be rude. He doesn't. But he's got to go for a minute. 'Cause he's got to check his food. Checking his food. Checking his food. Checking his food. Checking his food. John's checking his food. Checking his food. John's checking his
So
food.
tired. I haven't slept a wink.
Jingle bells.
Have you seen there was a funny tweet.
No. Unless you said it to me.
No, I just heard this a while ago, and I'm sure it's old news. But
It will be by
said-
the time our listeners listen.
We'll have it for next year. It said, important message from Batman. He says, I do not smell. I mean, it's dumb. It really struck me as funny.
Wait, you just heard that now?
No, I heard it a while ago. Like,
Oh, it was like
Christmas
around
time.
Christmas. No, yeah.
It just popped in my head.
Oh, no, okay. No.
I do not smell.
Well, we should get some Batman pizza again. Mm-hmm. For our younger listeners.
Younger listeners.
The next generation. Speaking of listeners, I was looking at our stats. Because this is a
Boy,
season.
howdy.
This is a season finale, so we got to look at that. But
It's sweeps week.
this isn't. It's our annual fund drive. No, telethon.
Maybe we need one.
We need we should do a telethon. The Time to Lean telethon with and
You'd have
leak
to get a phone.
Well, our operators are standing by in the men's lounge. No,
Give me your wife's cell number.
get your friend's credit card number and call us at. Okay,
Kids, bug your parents.
kids, go on the dark web and download credit card numbers. No,
No, I've got some chicken. What's the term? It's
resting.
braising, isn't it?
Oh,
when you cook it in like broth or something like that.
Okay, I think you're right.
Yeah, and it's in it's gonna get shredded up with my giant claws
Oh, you're
and
making.
made into enchiladas. So.
Okay. So anyway, back to the stats.
Yes, I was trying to distract you. I don't want to hear some bad news.
No, we'll get back to the chickens. No, it looks like we're almost at 3,000 listens or downloads. I'm not sure how the stats work, but they don't necessarily specify our server. This doesn't count the previous server numbers that we had, so it's more than that if you counted that. But it for some reason it's showing Space Poop as 213 downloads, and I don't know.
I think that's the name.
People are just downloading it because. So maybe we should have
it's the equivalent podcast equivalent of clickbait.
Maybe next season we'll just have the word poop in every episode
See,
title and see if that works. I don't know.
we'll get Taco John's that way.
That was with David D. Now maybe he's
The Space Force contingent came out.
yeah
for us.
he's got and they know how to get the internet going there for the downloads. So maybe
They had an army of bots that they should try a little harder.
and that was statistically. I mean, normally our highest ones are around 60 downloads, I think, but or 66 for a jury of our Pierres was number 2. Oh, I don't remember that one. Did we have?
Oh,
a
that
guest?
was Greg.
Oh, okay, all right. So that was the Utah
I'm
contingency.
pretty sure. Yeah.
Blunt instrument
The
of flavor.
Utah gang.
Blunt instrument of flavor was 63. I don't remember that one. We should have had Glenda again to help us remember what we were doing.
Okay, Glenda, here's your assignment.
And I'm happy to see that Army of 50 Clowns is number 4 at 59. So
That one is eternal.
I think our top listened to one is
Clowns and poop are the.
Hey, okay, so there you go. Our next episode will be called Clown Poop.
We'll break our records. Seriously.
I think our most listened to episode was the Rugby Foundation with Bix.
Paul S. No. Of course. The New Zealand, the Kiwis came out for us.
Yes, yeah. So I think we're learning something that our guests can help spike things sometimes.
Oh, no doubt about it.
Most of our listeners are from the United States, and then there's a couple in the UK, and there's this. We have one listener that seems to move around the world, and right now they're in Canada. They've been in the Philippines.
They've really been on the move from the Philippines to
Where were
Canada.
Well, they were in another spot for a while. And I'm not sure it's the same person, but I kind of think it is. Whoever you are, get on our Facebook page and let us know, because I'm curious. Any of you.
We're all waiting.
Well, and that's another thing. Any of our, we always like to get feedback on the Facebook page, and we actually.
Or you can be old school and go leave us a review on the Apple Podcasts, aka iTunes Store.
That would be nice. We got some on there. That always helps. There's the stats.
That's our PSA for the month.
What else is going on? I got some new shoes.
Yeah, you've been talking about all day. You sent me several texts where it's like, I have to talk about my shoes.
No, I don't have to.
So the floor is yours. So tell us about them.
And guess
we'll
what
write a song about Phil's shoes.
So I had these. I have indoor shoes, right? Because it's just I need support, even in the house. I don't walk around barefoot or slippers or something. And I had this old pair of my indoor shoes for a long time. Well, I'm way too long, and I don't usually buy things for myself. And it just got to the point where they were poking me, and some plastic was coming through or something. I said, okay, fine. I'm getting some new indoor shoes. And I went and I got these. I know I'm sounding like an old man as I get older here. I sound older and older. But I got these Skechers or something like that. And I haven't had Skechers since they first came out, I think. I don't know when that was. Probably after I had my first pair of Vans. But they are really, really comfortable, and it's odd and cool. They don't get too hot, and so anyway,
I have a pair of Skechers.
I don't know why I didn't replace those other shoes for so long. I mean, they weren't that comfortable, and I'm just cheap, I guess. But anyway, that's it. That's my update. That's all I got.
Yeah, I have a set of those. Yeah, they're not bad. They're very comfy. They've got some cushioning and stuff on them.
Yeah.
No, I'm also pretty bad about shoes, but I tend to buy expensive ones and not many of them.
Yeah.
And so what I do is for ones I perform in.
Right. Because you got to stand a long time.
Yeah, because when you're a bass player, you stand for hours on end. And so I have two pair of, or maybe, it's three at least, pair of dress shoes made by Echo.
Echo? ECCO?
ECCO, yeah. I think they're Scandinavian or something like that. They're a, they're not super high end, but they're not cheap ones either. And they're really comfortable, but they still look good enough to wear in a tux or something. And those are my favorite ones for long-standing things. And unfortunately, they're not cheap, but they do last a long time. I've had mine for literally years, and they've held up.
Well, my wife talked me into, because I had some hiking boots, and the same kind of things are falling apart and stuff. And she said, "Why don't you go to Merrill?" I think it was called. Mm-hmm. And I got a pair of hiking shoes there, and I wear those. Those are my my usual winter shoes, unless it's really cold, and I'm plowing snow. Then I have a different pair of boots, winter boots. But
I also really like speaking of old man peep things, my sneakers. I always called them tennis shoes, but nobody ever played tennis in them.
Maybe Lee did.
Lee and Rob did, I'm sure. Yeah. And and speaking of Rob, this is where I got the idea for these. Are the New Balance? What are they called? They're like 900s or 9 something. They're 990s or something like that. They're pretty well known.
Yeah.
Most famously were worn by Steve Jobs, which I didn't know before I got into. That was kind of a side benefit.
And Rush Limbaugh.
I gotta burn them tonight. Yeah, they're just athletic shoes, but the thing I like about them is that they're made in America, which is very rare.
Ooh. Strange.
And they're athletic shoes, but they don't look. They have that kind of down the middle appearance, so they don't look like kid shoes.
Yeah.
They're super blingy, and like I can wear them to work on a casual day.
Sure.
But they're also not old man shoes like Rockports or those white ones you see people walking around in. And,
At the mall.
yeah, they're not mall walker shoes. Best term. And they're in between. I mean, they're still old person shoes, but they're age appropriate.
What were they again? Something 500s?
990, I think, is the current version. There's been a bunch of them, but New Balance 990s, and they fit really well for me, and they're supportive and they seem to hold up well. Although I did go through a period of time where if they got wet, the glue that held them together would stink.
Oh.
It was not subtle. They smelled like cat pee.
Well, they might be. It's made in America, so they don't have as many horses to use, and for the glue, and they use cat pee. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, it's cat pee with. I mean, it so much that they couldn't be in the house.
Ugh, weird.
And they're not cheap shoes, so I really
Don't get them
tried
wet, folks.
everything I knew to do to clean them up, and for a while I left them out in the garage so they wouldn't stink up the house, and eventually I had to throw them in the garbage. But
Weird.
so far, my current pairs have not done that.
Well, come summertime, I'll need a new pair of.
These are great. They feel
Athletic
really
shoes.
good. They're very supportive. They hold up longer than the cheap tennis shoes do. But
Sure. Well, that's the thing. I used to get the cheap shoes, and they'd wear out fast. And
but also it's easier on your. It's kind of like the same idea where you spend a lot of time in your shoes, especially if you're a dude and you don't have that many pairs.
yeah, you make
And
love in your shoes.
I think also it makes sense to me to spend a little more and get ones that are comfortable.
No, I was convinced. Jody convinced
And
me.
it's just like a mattress, that kind of thing where you spend so much time in it, and yet who wants to spend a lot of money on a mattress? I mean, that's lame,
Yeah,
and yet you probably should.
but you spend a third of your life. Whatever.
Yeah, if you're lucky. Hopefully.
Maybe a little
spending
more if
that
you're
much
really
time there.
lucky.
Yeah, get lucky.
Hey. It depends on what you
And
make for
this
Valentine's
episode
Day.
has been sponsored by Casper. No, I remember there was a time when every podcast I listened to had them as a sponsor.
Are they a mattress company?
See, apparently it didn't work.
I didn't know. I don't listen to podcasts.
They're one of those ones where it's a foam one that comes in a box and you cut the plastic on it and it inflates.
Yeah, inflatable.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of them out there. They're very, very popular. And they were effective. They got really big, and I think that all that they'd advertise on lots of kind of small to medium podcast shows.
No, we never got in on that.
And no, we didn't get into that. I feel like podcasting has gotten so mass market
No.
that it's great that we can still do our thing and
Oh, yeah.
talk about shoes without.
We-
I mean, people know we're not shilling for anybody. So New Balance is not giving me money, especially when I talk about cat pee.
Right.
But I'm free to do that.
Your
see.
your reviews are always double-edged.
Well,
Hey.
and that's the way most of them, most honest ones are. And
Yeah.
if I had to sit here and read, like, okay, I got to find something really good to say about them, and I don't know.
What Taco John?
Then again, they give me enough money and all, whatever.
Sure. Or at least some free shoes.
Make it Suntory time.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, I kind of hijacked your shoes.
No, I think that was it. But
That's a lot of
but it was, I probably made a bigger deal about my shoes than I needed to. It's just
Another brand I like for like hiking kind of stuff are Keen.
okay.
They make good stuff. I've had
All
a
right.
set of their like casual hiking shoes.
Yeah.
I like to wear them in the winter when there's a little bit of. It's not a lot of snow out there, just a little bit.
Yeah, that's kind of how I use
That's a good brand too.
how I use my murals. I mean, I wear them in the summer when I go hiking too, but
Exactly.
because I don't know, they seem to be good in all year round, basically. But normally in the summer I wear athletic shoes, even though I'm not athletic.
No,
Casual wear? No, we're not that age. The mall walker shoes yet, not yet.
We're closing in.
I'm getting there. I mean, the more I get excited about shoes, I mean that says something.
That's terrible.
Oh, these shoes, they're great.
Hey,
I
guys,
love them.
John, Phil,
What's
What?
going on?
Again?
it's time for another quiz show.
Oh
Yay.
no.
Andy's Quiz Show. We're gonna find out who's in the know. Andy's Quiz Show. Ready, get, set, go.
Hi guys, boy, it's so
Hey.
nice to be here.
Oh,
Whoa.
I have
Whoa.
something very interesting to talk about today.
Oh?
But yeah, this is actually credit where credit is due. This is inspired by the wonderful quizzes you'll hear on the podcast, Away with Words. I love those.
All
And
right.
You know what else I love? I love rhyming and nonsense words. So this puzzle defines words that all relate to one of your favorite topics, shoes. But not only will I give you a sentence with a missing shoe vocabulary word,
What?
I'll also provide another sentence with a word that rhymes with the missing word. For example, I might say, if you want to keep cold off your hands, put on mittens. But if you want to keep mud off your shoes, put on this word. And the answer I'm looking for is pattens, which are covers you can put on your shoes to keep them from getting muddy. And pattens and mittens very nearly rhyme.
I was going to say kittens. I don't think I'm going to do well here.
okay. Yeah, I didn't get that one at all. Okay.
But you have... But you got the idea for how it works.
I think so.
Great. Let's go.
No, wait. No.
Too late. Okay, here's the first one.
Oh, no.
A hole in your roof that lets in light is called a skylight. But a hole in your shoe that lets laces go through is this word.
Ooh.
Skylight.
I don't know what that's called.
The little holes your laces go
Eyelet?
through. Eyelet. Skylight eyelet. Very good, John.
That's not even close.
Oh, it's a near rhyme.
Near rhymes.
Nearly
Okay.
away.
I gotta get the
I'm a
near
sore
rhyme
winner.
thing in my
Yeah.
You're a sore winner. Oh, yeah. This will be great. Here's the next one.
Put that in your eyelet.
A doctor molds broken bones into shape with a cast, while a shoemaker forms a shoe on a steel form called this word.
Central cobblers. No.
You're onto it. Yes, what is that?
Oh, what is that called?
Cast?
Mast? Last? Past?
There you go. Boy, that was really easy. A last. Yes, is a tool that the shoemaker
of
makes.
course.
A cobbler's to the last. That was
This is like the
our
worst
slogan.
board game ever.
Wait a minute. Cobblers to the last was a pun?
Yes.
Oh,
It's a
my.
brilliant, clever pun, isn't it?
I wonder if it
I'm
was accidental.
really impressed, actually.
I
I
think
am too. Yeah.
there's no way that happened on purpose.
Hey, not to interrupt the quiz, but have you guys seen the current Cobbler's logo or mascot?
No.
No, what does it look like?
I don't know. It's kind of weird look. I mean, the old one was really weird too.
Well,
but
yeah.
The new one, if you go look it up, I don't know if I'm behind that or not.
Well,
Well, we'll discuss at another
Yeah.
time. But
And
yeah.
and to listeners that have never ever heard us talk about, that's our old mascot, one of the only mascots named after a person, which you'd hardly ever do nowadays. Just in case.
Glenda can chime in and
Yeah,
let us know.
fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
that'll be a good topic. Great. I look forward to that.
Okay. Anyway, continue.
Okay. Here we go. Here's the next one. So garments that dress up your head are hats. Pieces of leather that dress up your shoes are this
Spats.
That's
Spats, right.
Oh,
Good
just,
one.
John just got me.
Yeah, because I had to wear them when I was in the McDonald's marching
Oh.
band.
Oh,
And
yes.
And I knew the word because John had mentioned that in the previous
Yeah,
episode.
I'm sure I did. Wow, reruns.
But
Wow. It all comes together.
I would have had it if he didn't add the latency to my track.
That's right.
You can't trust him. These sneaky IT folks. Okay, here's another one. Shoes that stomp in puddles might be put in a machine that washes. Or keep your shoes clean
Galoshes.
simply by wearing... Yes,
Oh.
galoshes.
It takes me a while to warm up here, but I'm getting it.
All right. I feel like,
Here's some concrete galoshes.
yeah.
I'm warming up.
Yeah. Okay, there's only a couple...
I hate to interrupt the quiz master, but I knew the answer. So
Yeah, go for it.
all right.
All right. Shoes that stomp in puddles. Oh, wait, that was the last one. We did that already.
Galoshes. I got another one.
Double.
Oh!
It's today's daily double.
Thanks,
Oh.
Andy. I get 2 points for that one,
That's
John.
right. We're tied up now.
Smoke that.
Okay.
Put that in your shoe.
A pack rat, which is an animal that likes to collect metal like dimes and nickels, is not just any gopher. A shoe with
Loafer.
a slot for just the right size for a coin is this word. What kind of loafer? It has a
Penny
slot.
loafer.
Oh,
A
damn
penny
it.
loafer.
Damn it. Okay.
Yes!
Oh, see, I went too fast that time.
That's right.
Okay, I'm not going to interrupt.
Okay.
That'll
Now here we
show
go.
ya.
The perfect end to a French meal is a baguette. But the perfect end to a shoelace is this word. All right, this is kind of a weird word.
Oh.
Baguette, and it's a bad rhyme too. Baguette. Do you know what the
I
little
don't know
thing
the
on
name
end
of
your
that.
shoe
Oh,
I
is?
I
don't know
never
what-
knew what that is.
I don't
Yes,
know.
but-
So I'm going to say
Spaghet?
No, it's called an aglet. That's the little end of a shoelace.
Oh,
that
I
keeps it
did
from
not know
fraying.
that.
All right, yeah. We're learning something. See, it's a full
Oh,
experience you get.
I
here.
well,
hate
we always learn
learning.
something when Andy's on.
Yeah, something. Okay, here we go. Camping gear that glistens when wet is a tent. Leather for shoes that is very, very shiny is this word. A tent and shiny shoes. Blank leather shoes.
Patent?
There you go. Patent
Oh,
leather shoes.
that's terrible.
Exactly.
I object.
You better add some more latency here.
All right, and then there's only one left, and this one's pretty poorly formed because I ran out of time writing these. So let's see if I can even say it.
Wow, excuses already. Keep going.
Okay.
No, he's just lowering expectations like we do on our
Exactly.
podcast.
Right.
I learned from the best. People who take off shoes and swim naked are skinny dippers. But these famous shoes couldn't be removed unless you were killed, perhaps squashed by a house.
Ruby slippers.
Ruby
Yes,
Oh.
ruby slippers.
Oh. Wow.
Okay.
So I actually was keeping score very accurately, and I think that Phil pulled ahead there at the end.
Oh.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
Even with the latency.
with the latency, yeah. So there you go. That's my silly rhyming shoe quiz.
Hey, that was fun.
Hey.
Well, you can come back almost any time, Andy. Thank you.
Well, it's always fun.
It's a little weird when you just show up like this, but
Well-
I'm kind of getting used to it.
It's the forces of the podcast, vortex. It just sucks
Yeah.
me in. But then quiz show done, it ejects me again, and I find myself flying away.
Goodbye, Andy.
Andy's Quiz Show. We're gonna find out who's in the know. Andy's Quiz Show. Ready, get, set, go.
I don't know. Do we have any topics that we?
I think we covered everything. Shoes.
Good.
Wait, we talked about
Oh,
shoes.
you have a puzzle update. God, this is getting worse, and I want to talk about how I went to Perkins this morning and got a senior coffee.
Yeah, I know.
I mean,
know,
all those AARP mailings I get are really having an impact.
My youngest daughter says she half jokingly said I may have a puzzle obsession. But it's something I started. I guess it was this. It's like, okay, winter's coming. It's a pandemic, and I know I'm not gonna do well with that. I can't just play iPad games or watch videos all the time in my free time on the YouTubes or whatever. So I thought, I'll get a puzzle. And I think I talked about puzzles in another episode, but yeah, I'm on my... So this one, my second puzzle, I did...
So you're like in Citizen Kane, where his wife just sits in the castle all day doing giant puzzles?
Oh, not quite.
That's what I think of when I think of puzzle.
I just have a coffee table, and the cats. It's a black coffee table, which may have been a bad idea because it warms up because it's in the living room there, and it gets some sun, and the cats like to lay on it. But I think cats I'm gathering from my Facebook post that I posted, not on the Time to Lean Facebook page, but on mine, that cats love to lay on puzzles anyway. But yeah, this last one, I was missing a piece. I go through every phase. I go through phases with every puzzle I've noticed where, there must be a piece missing here. Where, I can't find it. And then you usually find, this is only my second puzzle. I'm already talking like I'm about trends. But I really couldn't find this one. And I think a cat took it, or I don't know. Maybe it got stuck on their butt and went in the kitty litter. I don't know. But it's gone. So, but I donate the puzzles after I'm done. And on this one, I posted a little picture, or printed a little picture and taped it to the thing and said, missing this piece. Because I don't want somebody else to have to go through that. It's
traumatic. Yeah.
No. And now I'm on my third puzzle. And I don't, it's got, the puzzle pieces are cut in such a way that's kind of annoying. They're all very similar. There's like a skinny oval, half oval, or a fat half oval. The other two puzzles I did maybe were from a different company, and they had some, I don't know, they had a little more character. They were a little thicker pieces, more substantial. So not all puzzles are created equal.
Wow, I learned a lot.
Well, now see, Glenda might talk about this on the Facebook page, but she, I think she found some old puzzles in the attic when she was going through. She had mentioned that a couple of times ago that she was on, and about how cleaning out the stuff from the parents' house, and I think she was going through some really old puzzles. And our friend Danielle is really into puzzles.
Oh, that's right, she is. Yeah.
And Danielle, I don't know, M.
Yeah.
In Wyoming. I think she's in Wyoming, isn't she?
She is, I believe.
Torrington? No, I always say that. Laramie.
Laramie.
I get it
Sean's
backwards. I get it backwards. If I'm talking about Sean, I accidentally say Laramie is his hometown. But if it's somebody else, I assume they're from Torrington. No, sorry, Sean.
That's cool.
It's something to do. I don't know.
No, that
it's an old person
that's
thing.
Good. It definitely beats more time on Facebook, or unless you're on the Time to Lean page, then it's okay. Otherwise, it's evil.
But I listen to music when I'm doing the puzzle, and that's good because I haven't been I just haven't been sitting and listening to music for a long time.
Yeah, you can listen to McCartney 10. See there yet?
No, not yet.
So, you did not watch Facing the Crowd, right?
Not yet. We'll have to talk about that later.
Next time we'll talk about that movie.
This sounds like a doozy.
It's fun.
Okay, good.
It's a good thing to talk about for sure.
It's a teaser.
Yeah.
Actually, I that's been on my hey Phil, you should watch this list for a long time.
Yeah, it's been on my list of things to watch forever, and I finally did. So.
Well, you're ahead of me on that one.
Yeah, I still haven't watched the George Clooney on Ice movie yet, though. I gotta get that one done.
That was worth watching. I can't remember. It was Midnight Sky, I think.
So, we are watching this kind of fucked up show called The Boys.
BOIS?
Yeah, BOY. The Boys.
Yeah. What's
And
that about? I haven't heard that about. I don't know.
It's
The Proud Boys?
Yeah,
It's a sitcom.
They're not really Proud Boys.
It's a sitcom based on the Proud Boys.
That would be interesting. Okay,
It's
somebody's
not.
got an idea. Go write it.
I don't want to write that shit.
No, it's based on as usual. It's based on a comic, and it's kind of a send up of. I mean, the premise is that what if superheroes were real in the regular world? Kind of thing.
This does sound familiar.
It's one of those things, except they all work for this evil corporation, and they're awful, and like, they all have these, of course they're not. They all have variations on ones that we all know. Like, instead of Superman, there's a similar guy called Homelander. who's this asshole and incredibly powerful and intimidates everybody. And it's kind of like, how they tried to make Superman into an asshole in the actual Superman movies?
I guess. I didn't watch them, but
In this case, they went all the way, and
Yeah.
he is an awful person, and he has these weird personality quirks, and his cape is an American flag.
Oh,
And
boy.
They all show up in these they all make like Marvel movies together and stuff, and it's
Like
very,
propaganda
very
things, kinda?
sarcastic. And
Huh. Did they work for a corporation, though?
yeah, but they all work for this corporation and they all have like these people that do all their marketing and publicity and stuff like that, and they hawk products and things like that.
Strange.
And
That's probably more realistic than the...
Yeah, and there's
Marvel
these
movies.
These people who are kind of this ragtag group of people who are trying to get them, because most of the superheroes in this world are bad, are very corrupt and things like that, and the leader of that is played by Carl Urban. You know who he is?
No. I know.
Did you ever see-
I know Keith Urban.
The singer? Is that country singer?
I don't know. He's a country singer, but his name is Urban. What the hell?
It's not Keith Urban. I've been.
I know.
No. I didn't think it was Keith Urban. His brother Carl. God, I need to get a fucking studio. It's Carl with a K. He's from New Zealand, okay? And he actually talks in his real accent. He's not like some of you may know him from Star Trek, the J.J. Abrams Star Trek. He played Dr. McCoy.
Oh, sure. That's
You never saw it,
I know who that is. Yeah, I saw a couple of those.
You saw him in that though.
Yes.
Right.
He's from
So
New
he
Zealand.
plays. He's one of the leads, and he plays this guy called Butcher.
Ooh.
That's his actual name, is like William Butcher.
So let me guess.
This is not a subtle show, and he's super. He has a huge beard. He's really bulked up, and he talks in his rough New Zealand. I almost said Australian. Sorry.
Oops.
Very thick accent, and he calls people horrible things. He's really bad.
Strange. Well, what's his talent? He cuts people up or
No,
something?
he's not a superhero. He's just a tough guy who's kind of out for revenge against some of the superheroes.
Okay,
because
all right.
of some stuff that happened to him. So
he's
there's
kind of a good
there are
guy.
these people who are kind of against them,
Yeah.
and
Huh.
and some of the minor characters, they're almost as ridiculous as the old Super Duper Friendly Friends ones.
Yeah.
That have these weird powers that are just kind of a joke.
Well, that's a lot of fun.
Or Mystery Men, we talked about that.
Oh, yeah. No, that's
There's
fun.
a whole
Fun to come up
subgenre
with those ideas. Yeah.
of kind of superhero rebellion satire things.
Well, somebody sat around and came up with ideas, and did a show.
No, it's actually very creative in that way, and there's a lot of really fun. Like, what if the Marvel people were real and lived in our world, and what would it be like if they were all corrupt?
Yeah, it's probably more realistic.
Like they work, like Disney is a pharmaceutical company and stuff.
Yeah.
It's really very, very cynical and twisted, and it has some. I mean, it's worth watching if you are interested in that, and if you can handle the extreme amounts of violence and gore and
weird
nudity. It's a very hard
Nudity?
R-rated. I mean, there's so much nasty violence in it. I mean, it's, and I sort of see why they're doing it, because for example, the Homelander character,
Yeah.
the Superman guy, he can shoot lasers out of his eyes. Okay,
Out of his ass.
well, he probably can too. I don't know. Maybe in season 3 they'll talk about that. But, it's like something they don't really grapple with very much in a lot of shows about superheroes with these kind of abilities. Is like he'll laser somebody and like cut them in half.
Right.
And they show it.
Like Superman would like, and the Super Friends would like maybe open a door or something.
Yeah, or it's so glossed over, and I sort of see what the point is. Like, if this were real, he would just like cut through people literally like a giant, giant fire laser
Gross.
thing.
Yeah.
And they show it, or people's heads blow up, or awful things happen. And
Scanners.
there's another scene with him and another character, a female character, where they have sex.
Uh-oh, careful.
And it's very, very graphic. Like, but they're like, they're both superheroes and very tough, and they just
can take
slam
it.
each other around and wreck walls and stuff.
Jeez.
It's kind of like that
That's
kind of
rough.
thing. What would it be like if these guys fought each other and
Or had sex.
Yeah, exactly. It takes these things to their extremes,
Okay.
which in a way is kind of fun and interesting, but also you just find yourself like, ugh,
It's probably
that
a
was
little
just
too
too
much.
much.
Yeah, right.
Because it is very, very graphic, and of course now I feel like I'm ready to watch Game of Thrones.
Well, I'm
Because
sure it's
that's also a very graphic show,
yeah.
but this was more than I was expecting.
So hey, we'll have to mention New Zealand again in the notes, and maybe we can get some of our New Zealand listeners back.
Yeah, that's the other. I'm watching 2 shows right now that have a New Zealand actor. Also, the Expanse has a character played by an actor from New Zealand.
Okay.
So,
Well, I'm just glad that Keith Urban is getting a chance to try something different.
that's right. I've been really, really concerned about his acting career.
He's probably in a commercial, I think, isn't he? I think he is. I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway, the show. I mean, I don't want to put it down too much. We've enjoyed it, and despite the fact that I roll my eyes at it sometimes, it has some really cool stuff in it, and they weave lots of things into it, like politics and religion. Like there's a whole subplot with this group that basically is the Scientology church, and
Yeah.
there's like one of the characters who was introduced, like she grew up in a super evangelical community and stuff, that like they kind of took the superhero thing to mean that Jesus had blessed these people who have the powers.
Oh,
and,
sure.
it has a lot of angles which are fun.
Okay. Let's get, yeah,
So-
it sounds like it.
Don't let your kids near it.
Well, speaking of kids, my oldest one, she's into Attack on Titans, which it seems weird. It's an anime, but it seems weird that she'd like it because it is it's pretty gross too sometimes, or graphic, but it's so complex. I sometimes, because I think she reads about the show too, but because sometimes after a show I'll be like, what happened there? Because it's hard to tell. You can't tell who. We're in season 3 now, and they're really playing with who is the good guy and who's the bad guy. Because right now we have no idea. So I don't know. It's
Well, that kind of thing can be very rewarding if you keep up with it. So
their whole first season was, maybe even most of the second season was leading you to believe, one side was the good guys, the good folks, and but then they started showing the other side, and it's just gotten really muddied and complex, and they add all these characters, and some of them look maybe they look and sound a little bit similar to a different character, and I'm having a hard time. I think I need to...
I mean, it's like did they have Casey Kasem do half the voices?
No, it's not like that. It's funny because there's some I'd like to know more about the show, because there's kind of this German, like the main character, or one of them, is Aaron Yeager, and Jaeger means hunter in German, and I think, and there's some other kind of German references, so I don't know. It's just it's interesting. I won't go into detail with it. If people are familiar with it, they've probably seen it and they know. And I'm not necessarily recommending it. The first season, especially the first few episodes, it's just so intense. But it's like they're training to be these. I forgot the term. Shoot. Oh no. Whatever. They're training to be these kind of soldiers. And
Jedi.
No. I forgot the word. But it's just so intense. Like, they're just sitting in the dining hall and they're like screaming about everything. This is the best bread ever. It's like, oh, I hate this bread. It's just.
Oh yeah. You that left an impression on you because you've mentioned it.
Did I mention on this?
Except you were talking about sandwiches, right?
On the podcast.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So. All right, I'm repeating myself. I'm getting old.
No, it's obviously very influential.
No, it left an impression on me. The first few episodes were.
Yeah, maybe it's a translation thing too. I don't know.
Oh, they were just so intense about everything, but then that kind of calmed down. But then it just gets weirder and weirder. And it's like, okay, it's hard to keep up with in a way.
Beyond sandwiches.
Definitely, they've moved beyond sandwiches, folks. I've updated.
Need an anime show about sandwiches.
No. I've updated it from my previous discussion. I'm not repeating myself. It's an update.
Yes. Then you're all good. I don't know. Have you watched anything else? I feel like I don't know. We're watching WandaVision, which has been fun.
I heard that was you had to give it some time. The fans were like turned off on it, but at first, people are like, no, you got to wait till the third episode or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, it definitely has get through it. So, yeah, I mean, if you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. But
I didn't get any spoiler alerts, but maybe I'll. It sounded like they were trying to do something different, at least, which I appreciate.
No, it is, and
it's not a normal run of the mill. Sorry, Marvel fans, but hey, it's Flash 10 or whatever. I don't know.
No. So far, it's been good.
No, that one got me curious. I'm curious about that.
Yeah, I think
because it sounds like they're trying to do something different.
I was gonna say I think Mandalorian is better, but Disney corporate half-hour show we once.
No,
They're different. I know.
We've watched the street food show on Netflix. The Street Food Asia, and then we watched Street Food Latin America, which wasn't as good. No offense to our Latin American listeners. Maybe that one listener will go to South America. Right. The food looks good in all the episodes, but they have this. I kind of half joke that it's not funny, but it seems like they find the main. They talk about more than one street food vendor they focus on a city in each episode, and there's only like 5 or 6 episodes in a series, but it's like an English show, UK show, but they focus on a city, and it almost feels like they try to pick the person with the hardest life story, the most difficult life. This person has had the absolute worst life, and here they are today. And they, so they talk about their food and their backstory, I guess you'd say, in the comic movie world. But they just have these really difficult lives, and they just spend their whole lives working really, really hard every day to make lives better for their kids and stuff. And hey, but somehow it's uplifting also, and the food looks really good. It's not. We always watch it before we go to bed, and I'm like, I'd really like to try that right now. I'm really hungry, So it's not a good show. Maybe
I get it. Yeah. Oh, speaking of Netflix things, we watched this. Maybe I just did. I don't know. There's a barbecue show.
Oh yeah, I've almost started that one. Is it what's it? Well, there's more than one, but what's the one you're talking about?
Oh, what's it called? Chef Barbecue or something
yeah,
like that.
I know.
You'll see it. It's a Netflix thing. There's like half a dozen of them.
I almost started that one.
I've only watched the first two, and I would at least watch the first one, because that one is about this gal in Texas who makes barbecue, and it's really good.
Yeah. Okay. No,
it's not just about look at that person makes amazing food, but no, the story about the person is really interesting.
Well, it's kind of the same idea, probably.
Yeah. It's not groundbreaking, but I really enjoyed that one.
they I think, because you can't just show the food, you have to have a story too,
Yeah.
So.
This lady works at the local high school as a custodian.
Yeah.
And then on the weekends she goes to this restaurant and cooks barbecue.
Wow. Okay.
It's just I think the restaurant is only open on the weekends, and it got a lot of national attention, so
Sure.
people line up for hours and hours to get it, and it just looks amazing.
Oh man, that sounds
It's
good
one of
right
those-
now. I'd love some barbecue.
I know I haven't been making any barbecue because it's been so fucking cold.
It's how much you do more pellets.
It isn't that. I just don't want to be out there,
No, you can't.
dealing with the thing when it's zero.
You can't baby a brisket when it's sub below. There's a alliteration.
I just don't want to bother, so I'm going to wait till it gets a little. I mean, I'll do it when it's 30.
Hey, that's
soon. I'll be able to.
I think that's the title for the episode. I'll do it when it's 30.
There you go.
Or the song. Well, on that
your song.
note,
Yeah.
fine. Our topic was shoes, folks, but we talked about other.
Our topic for that's anticlimactic.
We talked about other things. We talked about. It's been a weird year. We're in a new year.
The year's not over yet.
No, but it's been a weird time to record this season, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
I know.
I mean, there's been a lot of shitty things going on in the world, and maybe things are getting better, but it's been weird to record sometimes, and it's been sometimes people aren't motivated to do the things they enjoy in life, even like maybe they'll watch a show, but
Right.
with COVID or I don't know, just and the way the political things were, it can wear people down. And but we've kept plugging along here, and we appreciate the people listening, and
I that kind of keeps us going, and like, well, somebody's listening, so we should actually do something.
But that also helps, keep going in other ways, I suppose. not to
All
be,
you people out in the dark.
not to be too melodramatic, but I'm not saying I'm going to kill myself if you don't listen. I'm not saying that, but it's been a weird time, and I think for everybody, and people have said they enjoy a little distraction from everything else and listening
Okay,
to us.
Phil,
So.
before we sign off, I'm
Yeah.
going to give you some homework.
Uh-oh. Face
So-
the crowd.
Well, you got to watch that. That's already.
Yeah, we figured that out. I got
So-
2 homeworks.
Okay. I'm reading a book about Orson Welles right now.
Oh, yeah.
We're both fans of Orson Welles, and a
Okay.
few others are too.
Yeah.
And this is the Simon Callow, like the other ones. This is his 3rd volume,
Okay. Wait.
and
Do I still have your second book?
probably. Yeah.
I know. He finally did the third one?
I just got the third one recently. It came out last
I
year.
wondered about that.
This one starts in 1950, I think.
Oh, no, the third book I was really looking forward to because that's...
Yeah, it's called One Man Band.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting so far, but he did a chapter on these TV shows that Wells did in Britain.
Ooh.
And I think they're on YouTube. You can watch it. They're like little 20-minute. They're almost like YouTube sized.
Yeah. Well, I've seen
videos.
some of
They're
this stuff on YouTube, but I don't know this.
And this one's called The Orson Welles Sketchbook.
Oh, wow. That sounds cool.
And there's only a few of them. He just kind of did it as a lark, and it sounded really interesting. Each one has a little topic, and he'll like sit and just talk about stuff.
Okay. No.
And do these little drawings. Weird little BBC thing that they did, and then he went and did something else. But
yeah,
they sound really, really.
Oh no, I'm gonna check that out. That sounds really cool.
I'm pretty sure they're on YouTube, so go watch a couple, and we'll talk about that next time.
Oh, that reminds me. I started F is for Fake, and I never finished it. Okay, anyway. I'm not sure I finished that.
And
second
these are only
book.
like 15 minutes, so you should be able to at least watch one.
No, I know. Even with my attention span,
Right.
That also makes me need to try to remember if I read the second book. Did I give that back to you?
I don't know.
I'll look at my bookshelf. Fine.
Yeah, that one's called Hello Americans.
I think I was midway through that book, but I'll have to.
That was good too, though. That speaking of South America, that whole thing was just nuts.
No, the first book was good too, and I knew the second one, as far as I got, was good. But I was looking forward to the third one because that's Orson Welles at his strangest.
Yeah, it kind of is, and all the weird projects he did in the after World War II time, or it's there's a lot of interesting stuff.
It's
but
like,
watch a couple of those, and we'll talk.
No,
about them.
I will, and because I like the older comeback Elvis, and I like the older Orson Welles. I mean, there's some interesting things going on there. The really old Marlon Brando, I don't know. That was maybe not so interesting, but often it was. Fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, I gotta go check my chicken.
Gotta check my chicken. I'll choke your chicken. Bye. Ouch.
Good night.
Here's a song!
We all need power, more power by the hour, lighting up the radio tower, sending out signals like a meteor shower, grinding your grain into whole wheat flour. Don Quixote getting cancer from an old windmill. Texas don't want your new Green Deal. Investing in the grid like an AOC spiel. I can power my house with electric eels. I saw it on YouTube. It's real.
Hey, what's going on? I can't see anything.
John?